Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. I'm very excited to be here for this one, and unfortunately all good things have to come to an end, so this will be the final episode in this series with my good friend Jim Cushman. Jim, please come on in here. Let's everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
First,
yes, and thank you. And let me say right now, I appreciate you taking the time to do these series of videos with me. It's been wonderful seeing your collection, or some of your collection.
My pleasure.
I look forward to maybe doing this again in the future.
Anytime, just give me a call.
So this has been a treat, folks, having Jim here, and I really appreciate him doing this. And so for our final video is a real special one because I know a lot of you are fans, big fans of this Beatle. We have a personally owned item by a Beatle, and I'm going to let Jim tell you all about this item. Jim, what do we got here?
Well, we have a Cirque du Soleil love shirt that was owned and worn by Paul McCartney in 2006. He purchased this at the opening of the Cirque du Soleil in 2006 in Las Vegas. Wow. And he purchased this. He purchased some other ones. He purchased some DVDs, some CDs. And in 2015, there was an auction called a star boot sale. For those of you who maybe aren't familiar, a car boot sale is like a yard sale in the United States, but they sell stuff out of their trunk.
Right.
So Paul was asked to send some items to raise money for the Syrian refugees. This is one of the items that Paul sent. He sent this. He sent a jewelry box, a milk pitcher, some personally owned anthology CDs, and some picture discs that he owned, and his memorabilia made the most. Everything sold for over $16,000.
Oh my goodness! I can only imagine that his stuff must have been the hot commodity.
And you know, the thing is though, too, Matt, is that with Paul McCartney, if any of you people have been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and things like that, and you don't find a lot of Paul McCartney memorabilia, because Paul actually is a collector. I'm not going to say a hoarder, but he is a collector, and he has a massive collection of memorabilia, and he has a vault in London, and he has people to take care of his stuff, and he keeps almost everything. The only reason that I managed to get this is because McCartney consigned it to the Star Boot auction in 2015. Wow. And Paul McCartney owned it, and now it's mine.
Wow, awesome. It's just unbelievable, folks, when you think of, like, you know, we as collectors think that we have something very cool when we get a particular album or a rare piece of memorabilia we have, but to have something personally owned by one of the Beatles, worn by one of the Beatles. Look at all the stuff Jim has shown us in these last several videos. Actual Beatles autographs, Stuart Sutcliffe's autograph, actual materials owned by Stuart, shirts owned by Paul, shirts owned and worn by John. It's just amazing the stuff that's out there, that if you really want to dive deep into collecting what is accessible to fans.
It's the personal stuff. It's the stuff that they own, touched, used. That's the stuff I like.
Right. And for the people out there watching this, not everything is untouchable, right? If people really wanted to try hard, there are little pieces here and there they could probably find for a fairly reasonable price if they really wanted to.
But the thing is, with stuff like this and the personal materials, things like that, the prices continue to go. They've never leveled off. They're always going up. They're always going up. It's a good investment.
So it's a good, yeah. So
it's a good investment.
So you're not wasting your money when you.
Oh no, people have the dolls, and they have the toys, and they have the CDs, and they have the color forms. But there are certain items that people get that I guess are meant to be accrued and to kind of be put away, to raise value. And if you've seen something like the Ed Sullivan drum head. Went for $2 million, and Ringo's. I mean, it's just,
we showed that recently in that book you recommended.
Yeah, that's a great book.
Unbelievable.
But it's a great investment. But it's real. Somebody asked me once, how does it feel when you walk into your house and you have all this stuff that was owned by the Beatles? And I said, it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. I mean, we can only dream, folks, about some of these items that actually owned and possessed or worn by the Beatles. It's just fabulous, and it kind of makes a collector like me feel like a piker sometimes, because I think in my family anyway, they think I'm all this Beatle crazed maniac. They think I'm the Beatles guy and all that. And I tell them I am, but when you go out a little bit into the world and get to know other collectors and other people who are into the Beatles as we are, you realize, wow, I'm kind of an amateur compared to some folks out there.
But it's a learning experience. It's a learning experience.
It's a learning experience, and we all we start out with those early Beatles fanzines when we were kids. We buy the records when we were kids. We might buy a little piece of memorabilia here and there, and then eventually we build up to more impressive things. It's like a stepping stones, folks. You start low and you slowly build up your collection into something you can be very happy and proud of. And I think that's what we all do.
But some of the things that I have at home And like some of the personally owned items, I'm glad I bought them years ago because of the way the prices are going, I couldn't afford some of the
goodness,
stuff.
I can
Got
imagine.
into the bottom floor.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's out there. Some of the stuff, if you got $100, you can get something for your budget. If you got $1 million, you can get something for your budget.
Absolutely.
But you have to read, you have to do your research, and
Don't walk into these things blindly. Make sure you know what you're doing before you purchase something.
definitely,
Yeah,
you have to
yeah.
learn. You have to learn. You have to do your research.
Nobody wants to get taken advantage of or lose money on something like a forged autograph or something like we were talking
Right
about
there, yeah.
earlier. So, well, thanks again. This is great. This has been a great series. I hope you've all enjoyed this, seeing some actual Beatles memorabilia, not mass-produced memorabilia, seeing actual one-of-a-kind Beatles memorabilia in these last 4 videos. I hope you enjoyed this. And thanks again to you, Jim.
Very welcome,
I can't
Matt.
thank you enough for doing this. I can't thank you enough for sharing these wonderful items with us over the series of videos. And I really look forward to getting together again down the road.
If you want to touch it before we go, you can.
Oh, can I cuddle with it tonight?
go ahead. Your secret's safe with me.
Wow. Oh, okay. I'm good. I'm good to go now. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Bye-bye.